everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to talk about the books that I read last week. So again, we've got a baby visitor because this is the only way we really relax. And so thank you guys just for being grace-filled and sticking with us through this time. I love making content. It's definitely hard with 4 kids and a newborn and all of the things. So thank you guys for just being here with the crazy. So let's talk about the books. So my daughters and I read 2 books last week, and then I read a bunch. So the two books that we read are Gooney Green and Gooney Bird and the Room Mother by Lois Lowry. So these books are just one of our favorite series. This is a reread for us, and these books are about Gooney Bird Green, who is a new girl in 2nd grade, and she comes in and she's just authentically herself. She's eccentric. She's way different than anybody they've ever met, and she's an exceptional storyteller. So do 2nd graders really tell stories like this? Probably not, but she's very creative. She's very good at using language and vocab. They keep a list of vocab on the board, and so this is a great, it's entertaining, it's wholesome, it's somewhat educational. It is a great series. So I would definitely recommend if you've got kind of a 2nd grade reader. They are ones that my daughter could read independently, but also really fun read aloud. So yeah, there's that. Then for books that I read by myself. So we have Flying Angels by Danielle Steele. This is kind of my only real Historathon read. I kind of just threw TBRs to the wind this week, and that's okay. But so this is about a bunch of women who are air nurses during World War II. So they all go, they're nurses who go pick up injured soldiers and take them back to the hospital and help them. And they're called the Flying Angels. So we start with 2 different characters, one of which is a woman who her brother enlists in the war, before it even starts. And not enlists, I guess. He goes to be, their whole family is Navy, and he becomes a Navy pilot in Hawaii. And then, of course, the war starts, etc. She decides to enlist as well because their father is dead, I think, and their mother has Parkinson's. And so she is the caretaker for her mother. And so she becomes a nurse in order to better take care of her mother. She chooses to enlist. She has a friend that she meets along the way that's also another nurse. So they go together. And then as the book goes on, you meet other nurses. And it does it in a way that's very, it's a lot of characters, but in a way that's really easy to digest because you get them slowly. You get the first one and then the second one and then 50 pages later the third one and all of that. I liked this book a lot. After reading The Women and by Kristen Hanna and books like that, I am loving all the stories about females in the war and their roles and how hard it was, the amount of sexism and things that they experienced, even though they're saving lives in so many ways. And what I didn't love about this book is all the women are pretty detached and not detached. They're all somewhat cold. The way they come off is somewhat cold, and we are told a lot about their friendship and stuff, but we don't see it. And so this is supposed to be about their friendship, and these 4 women live together as they are enlisted, and I just didn't feel any friendship for them. They also all have romances, which it's Danielle Steele. It's kind of to be expected, but I didn't love all the romances, and I didn't feel the friendship between them. So I really felt like that needed more development. And the coldness of the characters, some of that I would think is to be expected, but we just need something to either an inner dialogue of more of, I don't know. We needed more about the friendship for me to buy into the friendship. The other thing is we're just told a lot in this book as opposed to shown. And so there were deaths that happened. There was one death that happened that really got me in my feels because I would say the first half is a little more slower paced, a little more well developed. And so deaths that happen early were more emotional, but then at the end it's just rapid fire things happen and I'm like, oh wait, what? And it's just kind of unemotional. So I like this book. It's not the best, but I would say a solid 3.5 stars. Then we've got Troubles in Paradise. Oops, didn't even take the sticker off of it. By Ellen Hildebrand. This is the third in her Paradise series. And there's really nothing I can say about this because they follow directly one after the other. But this is about a woman who, it's holiday time-ish, and so she finds out that her husband, it was New Year's, I think. In the first book, she finds out her husband had a whole nother life in the islands that she knew nothing about, and now he's been killed in a plane crash. And so she and her sons go down to the island to try to figure out what he was up to, what his story was, all of that. And the story progresses with her and her sons and people that live on the island and all of that. And so this was a good conclusion. Honestly, the first book was the best. The second two were okay. They were still very good. I would say they were still solid 3.5, 4-star for me. But I really liked the conclusion of it all, and I would highly recommend the whole trilogy. But the first one is definitely the best. Then I did my December TBR last weekend, I guess, maybe, and still had a bunch of Historathon reads and nonfiction November reads and all the things that I wanted to finish, but I decided to just scrap that and start with the Christmas reads. So the first one is Finding Christmas by Karen Shaler. So this one is just the cutest cover, and this one is definitely, like, you hear a lot of Gilmore Girls references, and Gilmore Girls, like, if you like Gilmore Girls, try this. This one is very much that. Like, it is very much that. You can tell by the town gazebo, but whatever. This is about a girl named Emmy who loves Christmas. And she is dating this guy who is a lawyer and is really, really ambitious and really career focused. And so she wants to leave him a clue and send him on this scavenger hunt because he's not a huge Christmas guy. So she wants to send him on this scavenger hunt that then ends in this little weekend vacation or week long or something, I don't know, in this picturesque town. It's very Stars Hollow-esque. So what happens is she was going to give him the first clue at dinner. He doesn't show up. Sorry. Again, not less than perfect content for a while. But anyway, so he doesn't come to dinner, doesn't get the first clue. She sends it to his doorman at his apartment, and it gets switched. So somebody else gets the first clue. And it's a guy that she met when she was battling over Christmas wreaths. And so it ends up, he ends up meeting her in this small town. And he thinks it is a scavenger hunt based on his literary agent sent him on it because he's in a writing slump. And so he thinks that's what it is. And he gets there and they're like, well, gosh, what a mix up. And then he's like, well, I'll just stay until he comes, either until he comes or just to do their own thing. They each have their own hotel room, or room at the inn. It's like a little bed and breakfast. And things keep happening. The boyfriend keeps not coming, so they keep spending time together. It is so cute, very wholesome. There's not no cheating, and the whole time she's like, we really have to watch the boundaries because I've got this boyfriend, and there's no physical stuff. And I thought this was really, really good, really, really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit for a festive read. Then, unfortunately, less so. 25 Days Till Christmas by Poppy Alexander. So this is I don't know. It says on Goodreads, like a cozy, funny Christmas something or something like that. This is not a cozy Christmas book. This is a heavy Christmas book about two people heavily grieving and trying to make it better. So we've got Kate, who is our main character. She has lost her husband and has a young son named Jack, and she's trying to make Christmas special for him. And so she is doing 25 Days of Christmas, kind of an Advent thing where every day they do a Christmas activity. Now, she is living at the poverty line. Her job is awful. She's getting harassed at work. Her mother-in-law she's still caring for her mother-in-law, and she's about to get kicked out of her retirement home. Things are just awful for Kate. And she meets this guy named Daniel who is living his first Christmas without his sister, who was a big part of his life. And so we follow them as she's trying to make the best of the season and just make it okay for her son. And this is heavy. This is heavy. There's different thoughts of ending life and all of that is just, it's just heavy. And I didn't expect that, and I didn't like either of our main characters, and I didn't feel like they were authentic. Kate herself, she's obviously got a really hard lot in life, and she talks a lot about how little money she has and stuff, and yet and I like the message that we'll spend every penny we have for our kids to make things magical for them. We'll do anything for our kids. But she also won't let Daniel pay for coffee or whatever. He's got ample money. He's trying to just treat her to little things, and she won't. And that pigheadedness is annoying to me. And then also he brings up his sister with random strangers in a way that just didn't feel very authentic. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't love this one. Then we've got A Dog Named Christmas by Greg Kincaid. So this is, I think it's an adult book, but I'm going to put it on the shelf for my daughter to read if she wants to, because this is a little novella about this man named George, I think, who has had a traumatic past with dogs. He's lost dogs in ways that are very traumatic. And we don't see that. We're just told, like, hey, I have this history with dogs. I'm not really into dogs. Well, he's got a son who is mentally disabled. And he sees this advertisement or whatever for a campaign that the local shelter is doing, in which you can adopt a dog for 2 weeks. So then the dog is not alone on Christmas. So you get it for 2 weeks before Christmas. You bring it back December 26th, and all is well and good. And so he doesn't want to do it. But then his son finally convinces him to do it. And so they get this dog, and the dog is brand new to the shelter, doesn't have a name yet, so they name it Christmas. And this book is just about the love of an animal and how great it is. And I mean, it's really sweet, really wholesome, not anything that is overly sad. It's not sad. It's definitely more inspiring, more hopeful, just a really cute thing. There is a prequel that tells us George's story, and then there's one or two after this one that follow the son, I think, because the son is an adult. And I don't think it says, but I think it's kind of like a Downs-esque description. So yeah. So this was really cute, really sweet. I want the rest of the series, so we'll see if it happens. And then last is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. So I feel like this has kind of divisive, like a lot of people I follow really enjoyed this book, but the overall ratings are like 3.5 or less, I think. But I really like this story. So this is about two twins who live different lives. Okay, so one of them is not a movie star, Food Network host kind of thing, and the other one runs their family's bake shop or bakery, especially right now because the parents are on vacation. So one is at home running the bakery, one is doing her Food Network life or whatever, and the Food Network one gets in an accident that leaves her concussed, and she can't smell or taste anything, and she is in this competition with her co-host for a new show, and so she really needs the whole taste and smell thing. So she calls her sister, and she's like, hey, can we switch spots? And so her sister says okay, and they switch spots. And the rest of the story is about both of them finding their voice and kind of standing up for what they need and want in life. And there's romances in both, but this is definitely more, I would say, about the sister relationship and the importance of sisters and family. And I thought it was really sweet. If you can get behind the whole premise of them switching spots, of course, there's big plot holes that are going to come with that. Like, how does that work? There's a lot of that. And both of the main characters have some annoying times, but overall, I thought this was cute. So that is everything that I read this week. Thank you guys again for hanging with me. We've got all 4 children in this tiny little room. So, thank you again. What are you reading this week? Are you full on Christmas like I am? Because I'm just in the spirit. We've decorated. Everything is Christmassy. We're going to Target today to swap out some sheets because I got us all Christmas sheets for $12 a set. And so, we're going to go swap some out though because some are itchy. But my kids are all destroying things in front of me. So I'm going to let you guys go, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.